Hello and welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Saturday the 3rd of January 2015 and I have an article in front of me. It is from ChristianPost.com. It is from December 30th and it is written by Alex Morashko, a Christian Post reporter. Answers in Genesis sets up religious freedom cross of Christ video billboard next to famous New Year's Eve ball drop in New York Times Square. So a lot of people saw this. Pretty cool. It's I'm gonna put this picture as a thumbnail, but you can see it there. It's above all the other signs too, which is pretty cool. It says thank God for freedom. The big cross on it. It's pretty cool. I am thrilled that the cross of Christ will be seen in the most watched place in the world on this day, Ken Ham, AIG president, stated in reference to the Apologetics Ministry's digital billboard displayed close to the famous ball drop on New Year's Eve at Times Square. Speaking of apologetics, I actually started taking a class on it from Ligonier Ministries. They gave me a free 3-month subscription. So, but yeah, I just wanted just to mention that because I want to improve on my skills on explaining these kind of things too. Because apologetics is a very important thing to know. I know like theology, apologetics, these type of words are big, but what they're trying to teach us is an important factor to our faith. So, the Apologetics Ministry, Answers in Genesis, is hoping that in addition to millions of people witnessing the famous ball dropping in Times Square of New Year's Eve, multitudes will also see its video billboard displayed nearby with a cross and reminder to Americans of the religious freedoms they enjoy. I don't think anybody cares about that, just being honest. I am thrilled that the cross of Christ will be seen in the most watched place in the world on this day, Ken Ham, AIG president, stated. AIG officials said that whether people in the U.S. hold to the worldviews of Christianity, atheism, Judaism, and other belief systems, religious freedom must be defended. If you guys watch the Christian World News show, I like that show a lot. It comes out on Friday every week. This one was the reporter went and interviewed Angelina Jolie and asked her questions about Unbroken and stuff like that, and that was a huge hit, huge box office hit on Christmas. But it was really weird how she spun it because she's like, she tried to make it a universal thing about how it's about faith. She tried to keep that faith factor in there, but she tries to make the interpretation of it universal to everyone. And I think that does a tremendous injustice to Mr. Zamperini's testimony, because his testimony is about Jesus Christ. It's not about faith in any religion. It's about what, the fact of the matter that while he was being, reminded about that, you know what I mean? That well, if you know the story, I don't want to spoil it, but it's an amazing testimony, and it's directly a Christian testimony. It's not open for universal, you know what I mean, interpretation of any kind. Like, oh, it's just based on spirituality and faith. No, well, we know that spirituality and religion and all that could be that's a bad thing too. Like if you are in the wrong one, so we want to lead people to the right. You know what I mean? God, right? The living God. So let's get back into this. Let's see here. The digital video board will air for 7 minutes per hour each day, December 30th through January 1st, 2015. So by this time, it's already been taken down, but a lot of people, I'm sure, saw it. I was a little late on this reporting here. My bad. Including during the final minutes of 2014, AIG says about 3 million impressions will be totaled at Times Square over the 3 days. Millions of TV viewers watching the ball drop on Wednesday evening, signaling the start of the new year, may also be seeing the new video, AIG states. So the video board is located above the CNN sign on Broadway between 46th and 47th Streets in Duffy Square. It has been posted to take advantage of a massive crowd in downtown New York City on Wednesday evening, as well as a huge global audience watching the ball drop on TV. I'm sure atheists are pretty mad about that. They're mad about a lot of things. They're mad usually all the time. It's all right to be angry, it says in the Bible, but it says not to sin in your anger. There's a different kind of anger than the one that's guided by your heart. It's called righteous anger. There is righteous anger, man. It's all right to be angry if you're angry about the right things. But if you're angry about stuff like, you know, being anti, it's almost like being anti-American, I dare say, because I know nowadays that's super hardcore and politically incorrect to say that. It's anti-American to be anti-Christian, I think, because what, you know what I mean? I mean, where do you think laws come from? Laws are written based off of moral judgment, and morality is, it's you know what I mean? It's up to opinion, but we need a moral objective standard, and who's going to give that besides God? You? And should I trust? You know what I mean? It's a big question, and since men are not angels and are not governed by angels, of course, we make our own governments and stuff, and that stuff's necessary. But yeah, maybe it went off topic here for a little bit, but yeah, it is a big part of the judicial system. Where do we get laws, judicial systems, and you know, executive orders and presidents and all that stuff originally was written in the Bible, and that kind of stuff was being carried out thousands of years ago before we even were, you know, a sparkle in our dad's eye, if you will. We haven't been around that long, and stuff that's, you know what I mean, been taught in the Bible has been around thousands of years before us, for sure. The universe is not billions of years old, but it is thousands of years old, and that is a long time anyway. You can't even wrap your head around how much time that is, 6,000 years. Let's get back to this. Starting, what does it say here? Starting January 5th, the video, I wasn't even aware it was a video. I was looking at the picture, and I just typically thought it was just a regular billboard, but of course, since it's just a picture, can't really see it. But you know, they're bold. I have to say that before I continue to read that. AIG, the Answers in Genesis crew, they're bold, man. They're the only ones out there, you know, building replicas of Noah's Arks and putting billboards on the street, Ten Commandment billboards or whatever, you know. And it's like, they're bold, man. Like that's what we should be doing, and that's what, you know. And maybe more ministries should follow in their footsteps. Ken Ham's a brilliant person, man. A lot of people should follow in his footsteps, you know, when it comes to how he promotes the Christian faith. He has a very good approach. Remember, reason and faith, man. If you know apologetics, reason and faith go together, man. They're not opposed to one another, like most atheists will have you believe. Let's see. So starting January 5th, the video will appear on digital boards in cities like Washington, D.C., 7th and G Street, and Boston, Massachusetts. So in 2 days, it'll be up again, and that's good. The latest billboard campaign by AIG is helping draw attention to religious liberties under assault in the U.S. The efforts by secularist groups to remove crosses, nativity scenes, and Ten Commandments displays from public places, and attacks on AIG's Ark Encounter project, which I have an article, which I do read an article about and have a video, and you should check it out, are intensifying, officials said. The need for Christian groups and churches to preserve their First Amendment rights has never been greater. Why do you think I made this channel? This is my focal point. People need to speak up. You're an American citizen. You have to speak up. You have to put in your, you know what I mean? You have to, I don't even want to say, but vote with your dollar or whatever. I don't want to put a label or a cliche on it, but you have to be you, and society will have you believe that we need to be like everyone else, but don't aim that low. I know that sounds mean, but we have to aim higher than that. We have to be ourselves. We have to be, and I think it has a lot to do with God to even know who you are. If you don't know God, it's hard to know who you even are. So these are the two focal points of what I really like to, you know, center on in my channel. But anyways, Ham observed the nation's founding fathers predicted that a future government would be tempted to infringe on religious liberties. It happened even in their time, you know, with the Federalist Papers and all that. You know, that was the robber barons. That was a long time ago, and yeah, that stuff continues to go on today. They saw it going on in their times, and so they warned you about it. Same thing with the Bible. The first century church, they saw heretics and people preaching false doctrines, and they told you, they were like, people come in and they try to teach false things all the time, and they try to warn people, but people just they want to get along and have peace for the sake of just getting along and having peace, man, and that's not how it works. Freedom isn't free. You have to have wisdom, and you have to know things to be able to. And I think courage comes from knowing God, because God's with you, and He honors your uprightness, and the fact that you're willing to suffer consequences for doing the right thing sometimes is a commendable thing in God's eyes. I'd rather please God than please man, because pleasing man is cheap. It could be through bribing, through dishonorable things, man, and that's not good. So let's get back into this. That's why their very first amendment was to establish a safeguard for religious expression, as they inserted the free exercise clause for religion for the new nation. Sadly, that freedom is being chipped away today by atheists and other secularists. So I'll put the link, I guess. But I'll put the link. I guess you could watch the display here. There's a link for it. So thank you for watching, you guys. God bless you guys. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. And remember, pursue truth, defend liberty.